my subject today that I chose is, can I really change the world? We are the generation of people that want to make impact, people that want to make a difference, and often we use that phrase very generally, very widely. So to start off, I just want to talk about a little bit about my dream and some of the things that I was able to do to fulfill them. So I have a dream of changing the world. I grew up always learning about suffering of different people, and I wanted to be able to make an impact and change that. And so recently, I was able to spend 4 months in Lesbos in Greece, an island in Greece where a lot of the refugees from the Middle East and from around the world travel to be able to get away from their home countries. And so I went over there with a friend and I just started getting to work. And I was able to see refugees arriving in barges, or dinghies, they're more like dinghies, they're plastic. And I was able to work in camps and help a lot of people at these desolate camps where people are just, they have PTSD from everything that they've seen. They've suffered so much. They've hiked in the mountains for days on end to be able to get to a place. They've risked their lives because 1 in 4 dinghies actually end up sinking to be able to eventually get somewhere where they hope to be able to start over. They hope to be able to have a new and a normal life and just work and be happy and send their children to school. So I was able to keep going. These are just, we'll just skim through some of the pictures of the things that I was able to do. Help manage lines of people trying to register with the police, being a mediator between police and refugees, translating from English to French to Greek to Farsi, which I didn't even know. I just learned phrases that I could help them with. Go ahead. And helping children, buying balloons, buying candy to hand it out to them, even though they were living in tents that were full of mud and just horrible situations. And next, I was able to go to the border of Greece and Macedonia to a camp called Idomeni. And this was even more devastating because the previous camp I'd been in had probably 1,000 people, and this has 10,000 people that are stuck in the middle of Europe, and there are no really human rights. There were no showers, there were no facilities that were fit for 10,000 people. And the food that they passed out was white bread and really gross stuff. I felt sick after I ate it. So this is just a video just to give you an idea of the type of conditions that they were in. There were 7 days of straight rain. So they grabbed whatever they possibly can, blankets. We handed out plastic sheets so that they could cover their tents in order to try to stay warm. Nice. People cooking and trying to make a life because they wanted to eat something that wasn't disgusting. Go ahead, next. People offering me. I would walk up to people and talk to them, and they would offer me in their humility the food that they had. Everyone would invite you into their tent and say, here, have some chai. It was raining. I would use the donations that I got to go buy 10 pairs of rain boots and give it to these Kurdish men and buy some rain jackets and give it to them. Next. And this is us after digging. We went into camp, we bought some shovels and some picks, and we just went into the camp, and after it was raining for like 3 days, and we went around trying to find anyone that needed help. And these men came up to us and said, our babies are sleeping in like a foot of water, can you please come help us? And we were glad because we hadn't known where to start because it's like a huge camp. So we go and we just start digging and trying to channel this water into like a type of drainage ditch that's near them, and we ended up being able to, but it was just 10 families out of 50,000. Thanks. I was able to meet a most incredible Syrian family, and we became best of friends, and it was an incredible experience. And then I was able to go and work in a hotel and live with this family and help them, and I taught English to children, and we made an event where we had them name the school, and we had a party, and it was an incredible experience. And we went to Athens and was able to eat Syrian food for the first time because they actually had a place to cook. We went on excursions together. We had a lot of fun together. And this is like my family. It's yeah. This is an incredible experience that I had. So go next. So as I was evaluating my trip, processing it, and talking to people about it, everyone would be like, "Oh my gosh, Melanie, that's amazing," and I would think, "Yeah, this was amazing." And I came to a realization that had I even made an impact? Had I really even done anything? Had I really even I didn't fill a role. I wasn't a doctor. I didn't have credibility. I just went in as a clueless volunteer to actually help them. And coming back, I realized that I hadn't made an impact on the refugee crisis. Now, when I look back, this was for me in a lot of ways. This experience that I had was changed me into form who I can become. So in the future, I can be a change maker. But this experience may have impacted 200 people loosely. It did not make a dent in the Syrian war or the Sudanese war or in the refugee crisis. I didn't change the world. And so I thought about that, and that's hard to come to realization with, because a lot of people want to be like, yeah, I'm going and I'm changing the world, but are we really? So how can we? Next. What does changing the world even mean, and what does it look like? Is it really just doing these service projects? This is a Mormon youth picture. No, not exactly. Go back. I don't want to undermine service in any way, shape, or form. Doing service is an incredible opportunity, an incredible thing to help people individually and to help ourselves. But the world, sadly, still looks like this. Starvation, death, human trafficking, bombs, slums. It's awful. Go. So we are the generation of wanting to make an impact. But how do we even do that? How do we even do that? How can we get out of, instead of just doing service, to actually making an impact? Next. So in the BYU motto, it has these things that it says that they want us to be able to learn, enter to learn, go forth to serve. And they want us to be able to strengthen the social relationship, civic duty, and service of mankind. Brigham Young said, our education should be as such as to improve our minds and fit us for increased usefulness to make us greater service to the human family. So with that in mind, we have the purpose why we're here at BYU. We have the purpose and we have the desire to change. So we want to be like these people, Malala, Muhammad Yunus, Ashok, Martin Bird. These are incredible social innovators. And so anyway, I'm in a social innovation class called Do Good Better, and it's an incredible class where we talk about the way to have social impact is through deliberate planning, measuring what we do, because we always have to have those numbers so we can reassess our methods and then go forth and change them, and then creating the new best practice. And the world truly does need all of us. Those trips that we do when we volunteer and we go do those things, those are great. But we can find those ways that we can be the best in our, like Caleb said, in what we love and what we do. Entrepreneurs, entrepreneurs, which are incredible, organized artists, engineers, biologists, doctors. And we really can find a way that we can change the world. So the last thought is just that men are that they might have joy. And so that is not just spiritual joy, that's not just mental joy, that's not just joy with your social life. It is joy with the life that we live, with our work, and with our fulfillment in that work that we do. And so I just hope that you can all think about how can we change the world, not just by doing good and jumping in rashly, but deliberately planning so that we can be change makers.